Hello, dear Scorpio. This is your February 2021 horoscope. I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, and I'm excited to bring you this month's forecast ahead. Now, remember, if you have your sun, your rising, or your moon in Scorpio, this is how the planets can influence you this month. And we're going to start with Mars in Taurus as it's moving through your seventh house of partnerships, relationships. It's the other. And so, most likely, as Mars entered Taurus back in January on the 6th, you've been a little bit more focused on others, on trying to get the cooperation, maybe integration of common interest. And you're trying to figure out, how can this person, this situation, this team, how can we reflect the function that is within myself? So you have your values that you're looking at in the way in which you operate in the world, and you're wanting to find that reflective quality based on those who you're working with or that you are in relationship. You're probably also asking yourself these questions of, how do I show up in this partnership? And that may take a little bit more time to continue to suss out. With Mars and Taurus, time and patience is a really good thing. Now, granted, it is squaring off with your sun, so most likely you've been a little frustrated and you've may have had some ideas for yourself about what the relationship and the participation within the relationships are supposed to look like. And maybe there's some stubbornness there. Maybe it was you saw it one way, but the people or person that you're in partnership with sees it very differently. Maybe you're looking for that person and no one's showing up and you feel like you're all alone. And it's one of those things where you want to connect and bond and share the workload. You want to share the experiences or the functionality or the values of a relationship. And maybe somebody isn't lining up with you or even showing up. You just can't seem to find the quality of partnership that you're looking for. Now, if the opposite is true and you have the right people and resources to partner with, then some of that conflict or tension may be in this feeling that no one's communicating the way that you are needing them to, or there's some miscommunication happening. And a lot of that is attributed to Mercury, which is now retrograde in your fourth house. And it went retrograde at the end of January. That means another square going on because it's in Aquarius. So you've got this major tension point, consider it growth, between your relationships, between your home and your family, your roots, the things that help you feel really centered. And with Mercury retrograde in that fourth house, which is your centeredness, think of it like the taproot that goes all the way down into the center of the earth to stabilize you. This tension can make you feel a little destabilized, especially if you're not finding the right individuals to help you accomplish some of the things you're wanting to get done, or at least reflect back to you your sense of purpose or your values or who you are, how you show up in the world as well. Because in that partnership sector, we're really looking for that reflective quality. Now, the other thing with Mercury retrograde here in this fourth house is you may be looking for ways to revisit or redo or maybe resurrect some of these RE words, recultivate some family dynamics. If it's not immediate blood family, it may be family. If it's not family of origin, as they say, it may be family of choice, or you work in an environment that feels like family and you've broken away from it because they didn't line up or they weren't doing what you needed them to, or you were acting a little more independent than what maybe they were wanting. And now with Mercury retrograding here, you may reconnect with absolute family from the past, blood family, but also with others that you have felt disconnected from for a little while, maybe because there was a misunderstanding. Maybe you felt misunderstood because of this Aquarian nature that's here activating it, that now you're wanting to be accepted and you're wanting to ground and root with others through the different individuality that's showing up. So that reminder that we are all individuals, but part of a whole. So there's a common ground, and that's the sweet spot. So this Mercury retrograde, along with now Venus moving into Aquarius on February 2nd, also activating your fourth house, could help you find some common ground in which you can reconnect with those that you feel close to or those that you're attracted to. It may also be that feelings of impersonal love can be activated when it comes to dealing with some of these matters. And that can help you take a more objective view and not let the emotions take over, which can be very intense, especially if others don't line up and you're wanting to have this synergy or this harmony throughout the month of February, but yet there's still conflict because everybody sort of wants to do it on their own. Maybe you want to do it on your own, or they don't want the deeper connection. You may find some conflict with others where they're just like, I need surface. This is way too deep for me. Can we just play a little more? Can we just not talk about the deeper stuff? That can create some internal conflict because you're not a sign who wants to be surfacey. You really like to go deep. So if you are experiencing others going into that place of disconnect or maybe more aloof feeling, use it as a tool to be able to find that common ground and deepen your connection with them. And you can do it by creating this sense of acceptance, and they feel like family. The other thing that you can do if you are a Scorpio looking for love is that you may attract some very unusual family members or unusual lovers, if you will, that show up almost like a sibling. I'm not trying to sound weird when I say that, but it may feel as though when you meet them, it's like their family. It's, you know how you meet somebody and you sort of have this, I've known you forever kind of feeling. I would imagine that that can show up, and it can happen through the most unusual ways. And I realized during COVID, we're not really getting together with people like we normally do, but family members can still be the ones to introduce you. And it could be maybe some online connection first, and then you have a deeper connection in person down the road. I will say that during a Mercury retrograde, it's not always a great time to start new romantic relationships because the miscommunication or there's a fogginess of judgment of the mind, that sort of thing that can come on. However, I would say that it's perfectly fine to entertain it and to have the conversation and keep a sense of humor around it. We have the new moon in Aquarius in the fourth house for you. It's on the 11th of February. And you're probably going to be looking at ways to coordinate and integrate and collate all this information, all these experiences that you've had over time. And so if you are one of those single Scorpios looking for that Valentine's Day connection, it might come just through coordinating all these experiences for yourself and sharing with anybody. And it could be through very unusual sources. Like I say, family members could introduce you. Now, if you are in a bonded relationship, you're a Scorpio that is partnered with somebody, this is a great time to reflect on what you two have experienced over the last couple of months, maybe even the last couple of years. See if there's any forgiveness that needs to come in. See if there's any awareness that you can take and learn and do a little differently moving forward. It's a great time for the two of you to partner together to look at maybe some of the past ancestral information or past ancestral lines and get some information around it. Maybe do the DNA testing. And that may actually inform you on why you respond the way you respond to each other. It may also give you some more information if you're dealing with other issues as far as like, oh, well, in the way I was raised and the psychological impact that it had on me is now not serving. So here we have a full moon in Virgo at the end of the month. We have the sun moving into Pisces, so it will be complementing your sun, and it's a wonderful setup. So beginning of the month is to kind of rotor-rooter out all the stuff that doesn't work for you anymore, so that by the full moon in Virgo, it's going to be in your 5th and 11th house, that you're able to go, how I express myself and all the stuff that I've learned, and I've freed myself up creatively. Now I can express it in this really fun, loving, childlike kind of way. Now, I will also put another pin on the map for you that when the sun moves into Pisces during that time of late February into March, you're going to be extremely fertile. So this could be fertile of thought. It could be fertile creative ideas. It could literally be fertile of the womb. So those of you who are looking to have children, this is a great time to be trying. If you need alternative help, it's a great time to find that. And I would even say the beginning of the month is a perfect time to research your best strategy for getting pregnant or getting your family expanded or going. This is also a good time at the end of the month with this full moon that you can let go of any friendships or groups or organizations that are not serving anymore, that may have cluttered, not necessarily because they're bad, but you're out of alignment and you need more space and you need more time to be able to do some of these expressive, creative things. And if you're stuck in maybe some stuff that just, it's old, it's outdated, it needs to go, this could be a great time for you to let it go. Now, remember that we are in an overall theme this year with all this Aquarian energy, that the responsibility is still there. So it's going to be important that if you choose to let go or you leave, that you're able to stay with it through the handoff. Because think about it from that family perspective or that 4th house perspective that has been activated for you this month. And that is, you don't want the family members to feel abandoned any more than you want to feel abandoned. So as you're moving through the process, it's really about growth and evolution. So if you're leaving, you're celebrating the success and making sure that everyone involved is set up for success in the long term. Now, if you are one of those Scorpios who it happens to you versus you making the choice of something, a person, a friendship, a group, basically saying, I don't want anything to do with you anymore, really use the month of February to nurture yourself and also give yourself time to practice that forgiveness, to remember that everybody's human and that we all make our choices and we have to live with them. And it could be an opportunity for great compassion to come forward. And if you're able to choose that compassion and realize that some people do act out of pain, then it can allow you not to take it personally. That is one of the gifts of the Aquarian nature. They don't really take a lot of things personally, that Aquarius energy in us. So tap into that and remember that everyone has their own journey. How they express their pain body, that's just where we're at as human beings. And so continue to take that high road. And remember too, that you do have a strong foundation under you. And if for some reason you don't, or you feel unstable this month, find ways to expand your imagination and have greater belief in who you are, in yourself. You're here for a reason. Your pleasure, especially which will get activated towards the end of the month, the pleasure comes through being creative, and it allows you to be able to believe in yourself a little bit more. And that's what I would say. If you can focus on anything, if you feel unstable or you feel hurt by something or someone, come back to your great gifts that you have to offer to yourself and to others, and do it just for the sake of having fun. Okay, Scorpio, I hope this video helps. I'd love to support you however I can. Find me at jamiedon.com. Like, subscribe, share, comment to these videos. I look forward to talking with you.